Yo, 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 what's going on, family? This is Damian Ellison, host of Elevate, the podcast. Welcome to episode 11. We are here today to talk about celebrating your achievements. But before we get there, I want to let y'all know a little interesting fact. The Beatles song Yesterday is the most covered song in the history of recorded music. Over 2,200 artists have recorded their own versions of it. Talk about leaving a legacy. This is from soundbrenner.com. Yo, I couldn't imagine if one of my songs got recorded by 2,200 artists. That'd be crazy. But one thing I love is that every person's interpretation of the same song is so different and so unique in itself. So I think that's pretty cool. Now, it might be a little annoying to hear the same song, like, for example, Christmas time. I love Christmas, but the Christmas music, oh my Lord, it's like a broken record every Christmas season, because every Christmas season, almost the same exact Christmas songs are played all the time, covered by different artists, done different ways. I'm like, yo, we got the creator of the universe inside of us. Can't we write something different? And that's whether you believe or not, believe in Jesus or not, it don't really matter. Like, musicians out there are talented and gifted. Whether you're a Christian or whether you're not a Christian, everyone's gifted, and everyone who does music is gifted in it pretty well. And so, can we come up with something? What I'm trying to say is, can we come up with something different? Can we write something different? Can we play something different? Can we write a brand new song about Christmas, a brand new interpretation of what it means? You know, there are a few good originals out there, but yo, Silent Night, how many times can we do that? You know, anyways, rambling. So look, I want to talk about celebrating your achievements. So, when I went to school, grad school that is, I got my first master's, and I went to the graduation. I don't know if I did anything to celebrate. When I got my second master's, though, I did not go. I didn't even go to the graduation. I was like, I ain't going. But I wonder, I can't even remember why I didn't go. But I will say, like, as I look back, I think I could have done something to celebrate. Getting an undergraduate degree is a major achievement. Getting one master's degree is a great achievement. I have 2 master's degrees, and I should have done something to celebrate. Now, why I think it's important to celebrate academics or anything that's a major accomplishment is because, not to like gas yourself up, maybe a little, but to really just stop, to look back at how hard you worked, and then you achieve something at the end. You got a degree. You got educated in whatever it is your degree's in. And now you can get a job in that field and beast out, like go in straight beast mode, boss mode, and do your thug thizzle, you know, as a whatever. You know, in my case, it's worship music. I just wonder, like, dang, Damien, why didn't you celebrate? Did you stop to just sit in the fact that you achieved something major? No, I don't remember if I did. I honestly don't remember if I did. And if I did, it wasn't like big, right? You know, I see people celebrate birthday parties or celebrate birthdays, I should say. And I've done that. I've had a birthday party once where I invited people over in my 20s. And I know, like, people make birthdays a big thing, and I don't. You know, a lot of times I'm just like, whatever. A lot of times I might not have enough money to really go hard or go big. But I also recognize that partly why I don't celebrate a lot is because I don't plan out, okay, well, let me go ahead and do this thing this year. Let me go ahead and plan it out, save up for it, and then execute the thought, execute the party, execute the this, the that, third. And so I think I could do a better job of that, like planning out a celebration. But I think just on the smaller scale, so I talked about rest last week, right? Learning to rest. And I did rest this weekend. I did rest a little bit this week. My wife had something to do and I took the day off. And then I think Saturday, I don't think I went to work on Saturday. I know I didn't go to work on Sunday because it was Easter, so I wasn't going to work. This upcoming weekend, I am getting an honorary doctorate in music and ministry from Initiators Christian University. And I am definitely going to celebrate. Definitely going to go out to eat. Go do a little something, something. I'm grateful that I could reach, I'm grateful and I'm humbled that someone would recognize my service in the community, just leading worship all these years. And so I'm going to enjoy the graduation, take the moment in, really stop and just sit at the back yo, someone has actually recognized me for what I've done. I don't think people believe that they are worthy to be celebrated. I know that it takes, some people can be arrogant and think that they are all that and a bag of chips and the greatest gift to mankind. That's cool. But it takes a different type of strength to be humble, genuinely humble, and be recognized for your contributions to the world or within your sphere, within your community, and then someone to recognize you for it. And to not get the big head. Now, I'm not saying don't, toot your horn a little bit and all of that. But, and the reason why I brought up worthiness, you being worthy, is because that takes you looking at your self-image, like looking at you as a person and recognizing, yo, I am pretty good looking, or yeah, I did accomplish this. Yes, I did do this or do that. And so it takes a healthy perception of yourself, I think, to honor the achievement, to honor the celebration. You know what I'm saying? To honor yourself enough to be celebrated. You want to be able to make sure that you view yourself in a way that says, yes, let me take a vacation. Yes, let me go out to eat to celebrate a birthday. Yes, let me go on, let me go on a trip somewhere where you never been before. Be willing to accept the award that you got. Because the thing about it is, you are God's masterpiece. You are God's workmanship. He took his time to knit you, to fashion you in your mother's womb. He took the time to give you the personality that you have, the hair that you have, the skin color that you have. He took the time to give you the brain that you had. Then he gave you a gift to use. And when you found out how to use that gift, you excelled. You did well, to the point where people are now paying you money to do this, that, and the third. You went to school for it. You learned how to use that gift. And now you getting paid for it. Then you getting recognized for it. Ask me how I know. Because I did it. When I tried out for the praise team in 2006, I was on a journey. I was on a journey, y'all. Because I failed chemistry and I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I wanted to be a whole doctor in these streets, and that wasn't happening because God wasn't having it. Now, granted, yeah, I failed a class, but that's because I chose not to take it. But I think I chose not to take it because I didn't want to take it. But I was saying, I think that took place, and that was God's hand, even on my foolishness. And the reason why I say that is because that decision to not do well in that class and flunk led me to music, and I didn't know how to play the keys. Listen, piano is an instrument that I really, really, really love a lot. I love to hear people play jazz, within R&B, within gospel music. I love to hear some good piano playing. So I just always wanted to play it, but I couldn't play the instrument. I enrolled, so during that time period when I was trying to figure out what to do with school and what to major in, I don't know what I was majoring in. I think I was still majoring in arts administration, but I decided to take a piano class. When I took a piano class, I learned. I remember when I was practicing one day and I heard someone else playing, and I went and I was like, yo, he or she sounds really good. Let me go find out what this person is, like who this person is. So I went and I knocked on the door and I said, hey, you sound really good. Can you play, like if I just sing to you or hum to you this melody, can you play it? And so I sung it and they played it and it sounded like what I heard. Now, because of years of playing, I can actually do that for myself. And I credit the Lord, like the Holy Spirit and the academics together teaching me how to play keys is just, to me, is a masterpiece in itself, because I did not know how to play. The class alone helped me with the technical stuff. But then I was getting hands-on practice every week at church in my 20s. Because I didn't grow up playing music like some other people might have had happen to them. I didn't grow up singing in choir, singing in church, singing in school, all that type of stuff. So when I got to undergrad and I was trying to figure out what to major in at that time in 2006, 2007, I couldn't learn how to play. And then I had that hands-on practice. The hands-on practice made me so much better. The hands-on practice for homework, the hands-on practice while leading worship from week to week helped me get so much better. But I fumbled so much. Oh my goodness, I got stories for days. Just fumbling so much on the keys, making mistakes. But I thank God that I had to practice at this particular church, to be able to play keys on a regular basis, to be able to write my own songs, and to be able to practice singing those original songs every week. I'm so grateful for that community that served me as I served them. They served me and gave me an opportunity, and I served them. I'm so grateful for that. I am so grateful to my old church, because like that helped me, like they gave me a start. They gave me a chance. They were willing to bet on me. And now I'm betting on myself. And so not only did I learn how to play keys, and now I'm doing significantly better, because like even when I graduated undergrad, I still took classes. I still took lessons, so that I can continue to stay up on my skill of reading music. And then I went to grad school and did half of graduate degree in music. And so I'm grateful for the opportunity. But now people are paying me to play the keys. I'm like, yo, I never would have thought back then, when I didn't know how to play, that I would be getting paid to play piano. Bananas. So yeah, I could even stop just to celebrate that simple thing, because, I didn't know exactly, like I said, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I just followed the leading of the Lord. And then I also followed my heart with the music, because music is something I grew up with. I grew up with soft rock. I grew up with R&B, grew up with rap, hip hop. And then when I transitioned from not following Jesus to following Jesus, my musical palette, so to speak, expanded to worship music, to gospel music. And then like all of the different genres within Christian music, because Christian music is just relegated to it being Christian music because of the lyrical content. Because they talk about Jesus. But within the Christian community, you have different sounds like jazz and country and rap and hip hop and R&B and all of that within talking about Jesus. And I love it. But yeah, man, I didn't know what would become of the music major. And quite frankly, it's still unfolding. I am still on this journey of following Jesus. But to get to a point where someone has recognized me, where a school is choosing to recognize me for my work in the Atlanta area, just as a minister of the gospel, as a music minister, as a worship leader, is just mind blowing to me. And so, to others, that might not seem like a big achievement, but to me, I'm grateful. I'm humbled. So thank you. I see you. Appreciate that. Let me go to something else. So when I wrote my book, I'm an author too. When I wrote my book called Rain, I wrote it, but now ask me, did I celebrate? No, I just wrote it and put it out there. Didn't do a book release, didn't do none of that type of stuff. And a lot of people dream about writing their own book, or whatever it is that they want to get out to the world and whatever medium they want to put it out through. They dream about doing that type of stuff, but some people never do. But even though I didn't have like a physical celebration, I honestly can say that I probably just sat back and was like, yo, I wrote this book. I did like a post or two, whatever, like saying, yeah, I wrote a book, yeah, that type of stuff. And to me, like just getting those words out on the page about my own personal story and sexual struggles and just what I had to endure as a child and things like that, like just talking about it, getting it out on the page was an achievement in itself. I remember writing and feeling so like excited and exhilarating, so freeing, like a caged bird just free, just to write about what I dealt with and also to teach others how to overcome sexual struggles. Like that thing, just writing it out was enough for me. And just the impact that it had, because like when I bought the book, I got a few copies and sold out of those copies. I was like, oh yeah, thank you. Like people are supporting. By the way, the book is called Rain, How to Live Victoriously Over Sexual Immorality. You can find that wherever books are sold. I just stopped and was like, yo, I did it. I wrote a book. But I didn't write the book just to write a book. Like I said, the Lord dropped the idea in my heart. When I was in New York, I talk about that in the intro or the first chapter. God kind of dropped the idea in my heart. It was originally going to be called something else. It was going to be called like something about needle in a haystack or something like that when I was in New York. And I wondered what it would be like to, I don't know, be like a rare jewel or like a rare person that champions sexual purity within a culture that didn't. And so that's why I wanted to call it needle in a haystack at one point. But yeah, I've just found the Lord, yo, and that's just how the book unfolded. But again, I'm going back to Damien. You gonna stop and go do something? I don't know, yo, because I think the reason why I'm like even talking about this today is because I work a lot, and I think all of us work a lot. And I don't know how much time, just like I talked about learning to rest, I don't think we spend a lot of time stopping and just saying, you know what, let me do something fun. Let me do something I've never done before. Let me go have a drink or go out dancing or, you know what I mean? And so when I dream about the rest of my life and what that looks like, I dream about being able to have a little money in the bank and being able to like enjoy what you have done. Now, I'm not talking about like selfish ambition. Nah, I'm really just, and that's the thing too. You gotta be careful because, People might say, Damien, you just trying to climb the ladder and blah, 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 blah. But I didn't put the desire in my heart to do music. That was never there. That's not something I wanted to do. And so, yeah, like, I dream about having a little bit of money and do a little something with it, throwing some parties. And I think I can do that. And I think just as much as you need to remember that you're worthy, I think you also have to be celebrated. I think you have to remember that I think you need to give yourself permission to celebrate yourself. Because I think, like in childhood, I had like one birthday, I think I had like one birthday party as a kid. And then I threw myself one birthday party as an adult. Now I'm going out to eat for birthdays. But just like, so the same way someone might make exercising a part of their lives or reading the Word of God a part of their daily lives, why not put a marker in like, hey, when I get this degree, let me go out. Hey, when I get an award, let me go out instead of go. Because in this country, it's consumer driven and it's what am I doing today? What is the schedule? And if the schedule ain't busy, then I ain't doing nothing. I get it. Because when I took myself a break and I sat down, I was like, when I say took, I took the day off the other day, right? That's what I'm talking about. When I sat down, I was like, sometimes I feel guilty for leaving work early. And I know you're probably like, well, Damien, you work hard. I'm like, yeah, I know. But I legitimately feel guilty for leaving work early, thinking I'm going to miss a little bit of money. But sometimes your body needs the rest. So just as much as your body needs the rest, your mind might want to celebrate. Your mind might want to have you a drink or two. Now listen, we ain't talking about getting drunk. Don't go there. Don't do that. We ain't talking about calling no boo over and go getting your rocks off. We ain't talking about that. We just talking about good, wholesome celebrating. That's all. Yeah, man. I ain't got too much else to say on it. All I'm gonna say is enjoy your life. Life is too short. Life is too short to not enjoy it, to not go on vacation, to not go for a walk. Like whatever you do to celebrate, to not read a book, to not go throw yourself a dinner party, to go take yourself shopping. Invite a couple friends over and just have a dance party. Heck, have a dance party by yourself and just enjoy what you have achieved. When you look back over your life and you recognize that you did it. You survived. You survived the sexual abuse. You survived the bad marriage. You survived the grueling work that it took to get to the Olympics. You survived getting through all those essays and all those papers, and now you got your degree. Cost a lot, but you got your degree. You can go find you a proper job or go work for yourself. Celebrate the fact that you ain't got to work for the man no more. And you can go employ yourself and employ others. That's the dream I'm talking about. Like, let me go write a paycheck for somebody and say, here's your paycheck for the week. That's what I wouldn't mind doing. You know what I'm saying? Putting somebody on and me being a boss instead of working for the man. Because the man, oh gosh, clocking in, Lord have mercy. You already know. So anyways, y'all, let's elevate our minds. Let's take the time to celebrate our achievements, all right? I thank y'all for tuning in again to another episode of Elevate. I'll see y'all next week. Peace.